That's right. It's wrong. So I saw somebody's tweet earlier, and it got me to thinking about it. Somebody's literally tweeted this guy who kind of reminds me of his avatar reminds me of Space Invaders. But besides that, he basically said, "Your politics are wrong," and I tweeted back, "Well, that's a narcissistic take. People would just go with what they know, whether it's right or wrong." Now, you could be a Sith. You could be a Sith apprentice, a Sith hand, a Sith fist, and your whole thing is evil. Now, what do we equate the Sith to? The Ku Klux Klan, the Black Panthers, the Nazi war parties, the extreme feminists, just people who are just in a real hateful mood. Imagine if you're the guy in charge of a let's say you don't like Elon Musk, but now you're the guy or you're the gal in charge of a social media platform, okay? And you got people like this, okay? Or maybe people like Mr. Girl. Do I need to repeat what Mr. Girl has said? I don't think so. Mr. Girl had a lot of his content um like torn apart because he had violated community guidelines. I mean, go back to that Netflix movie, okay? So you don't want to be Mr. Girl. You don't want to be anybody like that. Then you got some other guys like Matt Jarbo who false flagged people, okay? So you got people who are considered to be the ultimate bad guys, the ones who promote hate in some form or fashion, okay? That's one group of people that I think, like maybe seven eighths of us would be like, we don't want to be near that. But those people exist. Do they have a right to exist? Yes. That's the extreme level. Okay. And then you got people who are sort of, I guess, in some fashion, the bounty hunters. Sort of, they're neither good nor bad. They're just they're kind of out there. I kind of fall into this second category a bit more, where I'm just like, I don't like the good guys because they're more of the corporation. They're considered they're the establishment, right? They're the mainstream. They're the big tech. And I don't like the bad guys either. I don't like the extreme haters or grifters. But I'm sort of in between. If there's somebody that, I can freelance for as an artist, as a writer, I'm just on my own path. And bounty hunters in Star Wars are on their own path. Whether they work for Jewel or Jabba the Hutt or anybody like that. Anybody who um, I would say like they just you're a free person, but at the same time you're doing what you want, and but then you're taking sides sometimes. You're not taking sides full time. You're just taking sides sometimes. That's how it is. So like their politics could be considered wrong by the establishment or by people who want them to take their side. It's not making a lot of sense. Basically, you're in the gray area. You're sort of in the gray. And then you've got people who could be quasi religious. You got people who are maybe they're missionaries, maybe they're volunteers. I was a volunteer once. They just do nothing but good deeds. They help children, they donate, they do random acts of kindness. They're always looking out for people all the time. They just do nothing. They say God bless you. They ask for charity donations, do charitable work. There could be a double edged sword. People could take advantage of you. People could hurt you, but overall, you're helping people, right? That's one group. And then there's another one. You could be the soldier. You could be the guy that has to. You don't question your orders. You do what you're told. Okay. Sometimes you're working for haters. Sometimes you're working for the republic. Sometimes you're working for democracy. Sometimes you're working for green or libertarian or independence or peace and freedom or something else. You just do what you're supposed to do. You got a wife, you got kids, or you got a husband and kids, and you got bills to pay. You gotta be a good soldier, take orders, and shut up and do what you gotta do. And that's how it is. That's another group of people. Mostly that you're the employee, and other times you are the establishment. Well, actually, maybe you may not be. You may be a small business. You're mom and pop store. You're a small business, and maybe you'll work with the volunteers. Maybe you don't. Volunteers, the missionaries, you'll help them out. Maybe they help each other out. Um, but you're a group of people that everyone knows and likes. But you're not the establishment. But you're a good amount of people. It's possible I could fit into this category as well, but it's a more organized. You could maybe compare the Jedi to like the library bookstore or a grassroots business, whatever it is, a small business. Then you have the establishment, more and more. Maybe not so much of a soldier. Maybe your Secret Service, or maybe you're a company like what G4 was, Rooster Teeth, IGN, right? You're the establishment. You're the ones that are the closest to the company. You're the generals in this army. So everyone looks up to you. They look up like CNN or whatever. Like they just look up to those kinds of people. Or you could be the incel. You could be all by yourself. Maybe you have some greatness about you, but you're all by yourself. This is the thing about politics, is that, and even in Star Wars, there's always a side you're going to take, even if it's not anybody else but yourself. Um, I don't know whose politics. The only politics I really don't like are when people misrepresent one thing for another to try to lure people, and you're not who you say you are. Those are the only politics I don't like. People who are honest, and even we can laugh at the Klansman who's like, he goes and watches black comedies. I was like, well, what are you doing, motherfucker? What you doing, right? We can have a laugh, but I never like any group of people that pretend to be one thing or another. Stay true to your principles. Stay true to who you are. The whole point is that whether it's a high school clique or whether it's a book club, I want to see people stay true to their principles. Uh, when you have people who say extreme things or another, do you cancel that person? Did that person violate community guidelines? Do you shadow ban that person? If you were that person running that social media platform, and you have somebody like Mr. Girl, or you have an extreme hate racist, or you have or a misogynist, and they say things that people are outraged. Well, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to say? You have to do something. We Christians are offended. It's like crap. And it's like you try every day not to be the bad guy and censor anybody, because when people just censor for censor's sake, that's when I have a problem. It's like, let this person say something. It's like if somebody famous said, picking out the lid out of their butt and said that hemophiliacs are contagious, I'd be like, and if I say something and they censor me, then there's a problem. Okay. Um, I told you I had a problem with Instagram on some sort of technical basis, but imagine if they censored me for trying to say, "Hey, that's not true. That's a lie," and they know it's a lie, and they're just spouting ignorant shit, and their stupid followers that are too young to go through the rest of puberty and go out into the open world. They're going to believe anything that leader tells them. Follow the leader. So, um, or even somebody like Luke Skywalker is a ghost, so sometimes it's the martyr. Honestly, I think for me myself, I'm somewhere between Luke Skywalker and Cade, where I'm just kind of doing my own shit. That's kind of where I'm at right now in my life, um, and I want to do better, and I want to fit into a group of people that understand what I'm going through and what it's like. But that's what loneliness is about. Truly forced loneliness is not just about girls. It's about when people push you into being that incel that you just don't know. So if I'm a person of one, is my politics wrong? Yes. No. That's it.